Come to lying on your back, feet together, knees apart, one hand over the heart, left hand over the belly. Just taking in some really deep breaths into that lower belly, using up the entire abdomen, the entire length of your lungs. Breathe in through the nose, exhale out the mouth. Today's class is all about a slow flow, just taking our time, sitting in the poses for about 20 seconds each. We're going to focus on our hips, so lots of hip work. Just continue to breathe. Bring your right knee into your chest and move it in a circle. Left knee could stay out in butterfly, or you can extend it out straight. Really focusing on that right hip, release the leg. Switch sides, left knee coming into the chest, circling around in a circle. Continuing to breathe into that left hip. Let's come into a happy baby. So grabbing both of the backs of your heels, pushing towards the ground. You can rock from side to side. And release. Bring your arms over your head. Roll up into a seated pose, sitting straight up. Your shoulders aligned with your hips. Bring your hands onto your knees. And let's rotate your hips in a circle. You can also bring your chest forward. So whatever feels comfortable, rotating through the hips or rotating through the upper chest. Continuing to breathe. And just warming up those hips. You can take a forward fold if you'd like. You can grab a block. Keep your hips to the ground. And place your forehead on a block, hands out in front of you or onto your elbows. Again, we're going to do a lot of hip work today. So I recommend some of my other videos if hips are hard for you or if you have any hip problems. And just sit here in this forward fold with legs crossed. Set your intention for the day, slowly roll up. You can switch the crossings of your legs and then come back down onto your forehead. Remembering that it's intention, remembering why you came to the mat. Really getting into those hips today. So breathe in deep, slowly roll up. Let's rotate the head in a circle to the right, just big circles, warming up the neck. And reverse your circle, circle over to the left, focusing on the sides of the neck, getting out all that tension, getting out all that stagnant energy. Go ahead and start rolling your shoulders. One and then the other, just alternating each shoulder in a circle. You can clasp your hands behind your back. and lift your hands off of your lower back towards the sky. You can either keep your head straight up or release. Release the hands, bring your right hand across your chest and look over to the right. Warming up that right shoulder. And release. Bring that right hand behind your head, using your left hand for support if needed, or you can grab a strap. Release and switch sides. Bring your left arm across your chest. Look over to the left. And finally, bring your left hand over the back of your head, using your right hand for support. And release both hands. Begin to circle out both shoulders behind you in a circle. So forward and then back. Let's come onto all fours. And we're going to come into puppy, so arms extended out straight in front of you, chin towards the ground looking up. For more advanced yogis, you can always keep your forehead to the ground if this is too hard. Hips are above your knee, feet are together. This is puppy pose. Push back up onto your arms. Your arms should be straight here. We're going to do some cat-cows. Your knees are hips distance apart. You can push up and down into your shoulders off the ground, as well as moving into a circle around your wrists. And reverse the circle on the wrists, just moving the entire upper body. Look up for cat. Stick your tongue out for lion's breath. Exhale for cow, really pushing through the ground, using your index finger for support, pushing through the top of your back. Inhale for cat, look up. Exhale for cow, look down and push up through the top of your back. Inhale for cat, look up and push through the bottom of your lower back. Exhale, cow, push through the top of your back. You can wag your tailbone here, just moving from side to side. And pushing off of your feet into downward dog. Your heels come towards the ground, toes are facing forward, legs are straight, arms are straight, pushing through the ground, pushing through your index finger. Making sure your pelvis is tilted towards the sky, meaning your lower back is straight and your upper back is straight. You could bend the knees and attempt to bring your upper chest towards your knees, and then straighten. Roll forward through the top of your back to plank, and roll back into down dog. Bring your right hand to your left leg and look over your left hand. And now bring your left hand to your right leg and look over your right hand. Bring your left leg to the sky, knee forward. We're going to come into pigeon early today because we're really working on our hips today. So your left leg is at a 90-degree angle. My left side isn't as flexible here, so as you can see, my toe is pointed towards my right hip, and that's okay. Leaning forward onto my forehead, onto the block, or onto the ground. Your back leg is straight. You can play with the height of the block, just trying to get your upper chest towards the ground and really breathing into that left hip. So taking deep breaths into the left hip, releasing any trauma, any thoughts, and letting them go. Push off onto your hands, back to down dog, right leg to the sky. Bring your right knee in for pigeon on the right. So the front of your right leg should be facing the front of your mat, ideally at a 90-degree angle. Your left leg is flat, forehead onto a block. Your arms can be either bent at your elbows or straight. Really trying to get the upper chest towards the floor. And breathing into that right hip. You can rotate from right to left into those hips, if that helps. Just sitting in here for a few minutes, just releasing any thoughts that come up. And releasing that block. Push back up and back into down dog. Lift up off your heels, bend the knees, step, jump, or hop forward. Flat back, arms are straight. Fold forward, arms come behind your shins. Stand up, fly your arms over your head into prayer and fold back down to the ground. Both arms to the ground, step back into plank and push back into down dog. Bend the knees, jump, step, or hop forward. Flat back, arms are straight. Fold forward, hands come behind your ankles. Roll up, arms come over your head, palms to prayer. Roll back down. Step back into plank, chaturanga, and hold. Up dog, knees off the ground, and down dog, hips to the sky. Bend the knees, jump, step, or hop forward. Flat back, arms are straight. Hold forward. Roll up, fly up, look up. Palms to chest, palms to the ground. Step back, jump back. Chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Just a few more times, warming up. Take deep breaths, bend the knees, jump, step, or hop forward. Flat back, arms are straight. Fold forward, arms come behind you. Arms fly up to the sky, stand up, palms to the chest, palms to the ground. Flat back, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. So a few more sun salutations. Bend the knees, jump, step, hop. Flat back. Fold forward, fold at the hips. Roll up, arms to the sky, palms come together towards your chest and then to the ground. Step back into plank, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Taking a deep breath, left leg to the sky. Bring that left knee in and come into a warrior two. Your left toes are facing forward, your right toes are facing the sides of your mat. Your hips are parallel to the side of your mat. Your arms are out in a T and your head is looking forward. Bend the front knee as much as possible. Lean back into reverse warrior. Roll forward into side angle. Left hand comes to the ground, right hand to the sky and over your head at a diagonal. Just really focusing on the hips. Straighten that front leg. That right hand comes to the sky. Look up for Trikonasana. You can bring that arm behind you. You can look down to the ground. Bend that front knee again and launch forward into half moon. Left arm is to the sky. You're standing straight on that left leg. Your right toes are pointed towards your side wall. You can grab the back of that free foot. And you can squeeze your foot to take the attention off of your standing leg. Slowly release. Bring the right foot towards your left foot. And just do a quick forward bend. Bend that right knee into your chest, wrap it around your right elbow, and attempt to stand up. If you lose your balance, as I did here, it's okay. Just keep trying to tuck your right hip, your right knee into your right elbow and standing straight up. Just a few more times and hold. You can release that leg and come into a dancer's. So you're grabbing on to your right foot and pointing it towards the sky, and step back into Warrior Two. Both hands to the ground, bring the right leg towards the right knee to the ground, and bend and extend your left leg. Left hand to the sky and behind you, grabbing that free foot. Really pushing through your hips and that front of your back thigh. Release the foot to the ground. Straighten out the left foot and sit on the back of your right heel. Fold forward into a half split. Bend the knee and swing it around, back into plank, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Right leg to the sky, bring the right knee in. Warrior Two, your front right toes are pointed forward, your back toes are facing the sides of your mat. Your hands are out in a T and your head is facing forward. Just bend into that right knee. Lean back into reverse warrior. Knees stay where they are. Straighten out your right leg and fold down to the ground. Right hand to the ground, left hand to the sky for Trikonasana. And bring your left hand behind you. Bend your right knee and come into side angle. Left hand comes across your head at an angle. Launch forward onto your right leg. Left leg is straight. Left toes are pointed towards the side of the room. You can grab the back of that free foot. Move your hand, release both toes together, bending both knees, attempting to wrap your left knee around your left elbow. You can do a bind here. Your right hand can come behind you and balance on a straight leg with your left knee to the sky. You can reverse your knee and grab the back of your foot into dancers. I don't mind showing that I fall because that's normal. So step back into Warrior Two, attempting to bend your right knee as much as possible. Reverse warrior, and then swing that right arm around into a middle stretch. Bend your right knee. Left knee comes to the ground. Bend and extend your right leg. Still warming up those hips. Sit back onto that left foot. Hold forward with your right leg. Should be straight here. Rebend that knee. Bring your left hand behind you, grabbing that free foot. And squeeze that foot, attempting to push through the front of your hips. Release the foot. Both hands to the ground, right leg comes behind you. Push up into plank, chaturanga, up dog, and down dog. Left leg to the sky, bring your left knee in. And come into Warrior Two. Left leg is bent at a 90-degree angle, right leg is straight. And you're facing forward, your arms are out at a T. Reverse warrior, look behind you. Left arm comes to the ground, right hand to the sky, your left knee stays bent. This is side angle pose. Straighten that left knee. And left hand or right hand comes behind your back. Both hands to the ground, launch forward into half moon pose. Left hand to the ground, right hand to the sky. Just balancing on that left leg. Your right toes are facing the side of the room. You could attempt to grab the back of that right foot. And slight back bend. Release the leg. Bring both feet together, bend the right knee, and attempt to hook your right knee around your right elbow. You could squat down to the ground if this helps, and you can bind both hands behind you, attempting to straighten that left leg. And just balancing on that left leg with your right knee to the sky. You can swing that leg around into dancers behind you and launch back into warrior two. Swing your arms around in front of you. Roll that right leg around, knee on the ground. Bend and extend your left leg. Sit back onto that right heel and fold forward into half splits. We're going to take this one step further and come into a full split here. You can use a block to come under that left thigh. Left leg is straight, right leg is straight, hips are facing forward. You can release the block, swing that left leg behind you, knees are bent, hips to the sky. Come into puppy, arms are extended out in front of you, chin is to the ground looking up. Hips are aligned with your knees, feet are together. And push up. Find your way back into down dog, right leg to the sky, right knee bent. Come swing that right knee through to warrior two. Both arms are straight, looking out in front of you. Right knee is bent, left leg is straight. Lean back into reverse warrior. And lean forward into side angle. Right hand to the ground, left hand to the sky. Right knee stays bent. Straighten out that right leg for a Trikonasana, left hand to the sky. Rebend that right knee and launch forward into half moon. Right hand comes down to the ground, left hand to the sky. Left toes are pointed towards the side wall. You can grab the back of the free foot, slight back bend here. Release the leg, both feet together. Come to a squat on your tippy toes. Attempt to wrap your left elbow around your left knee and clasping both hands behind your back, attempt to straighten out onto that right foot. Left knee comes to the sky, just balancing on that right leg. Release the foot, bring it behind you into dancers. Step back into warrior two. Left toes facing the side, front toes facing forward. Right knee is bent, arms are straight into a T. Swing both arms around and come facing forward onto your mat. Right knee is bent, left knee is, you're on your left knee to the ground. Bend and extend that right leg. And sit back onto your left heel. grabbing the front of your right foot. Sometimes I like to grab the side of my front foot with my opposite arm to help out my alignment. And let's come into a full split on the right, bringing a block underneath your right thigh and just relaxing onto that right thigh. You can roll up and down through your spine towards your right knee. Bring both hands to the ground, release the block, swing your right leg behind you. Both knees are bent, feet are together. For puppy, extend your arms out in front of you. Chin to the floor, looking forward, hips to the sky. Pushing through that lower back, there's a slight curve in your back here. And let's rest in child's pose, feet together, knees apart, arms are out in front of you, forehead to the ground, attempting to straighten out that lower back and the upper back. Keeping your hips to your heels. Walk your hands over to the right, stretching out your left side. Left palm comes over right palm. And walk them back to center. You can always bring your hands onto your fingertips for a deeper stretch. Elbows should always be off the ground. Walk both hands over to the left. And get a deeper side stretch on the right. Let's walk your hands forward, come onto your bellies, feet are together, elbows are bent at your side, and look up for scorpion. Rest your head onto your hands. Bring your hands outside of your mat, and we're just going to do some roll-ups here. So just roll through the spine, pushing up and down. And rest the head back down onto the arms and the hands. Clasp your hands behind you and look up. Slight back bend. Push through the upper chest and release the hands. Rest your head on your hands. Bring your hands clasped behind you and look up. Feet come off the ground, feet remain together, heels together, toes apart, release. You can lay on your hands. Hands clasped behind you, fly everything off the ground, look up, feet off the ground, and release. Push off your hands and come into a child's pose. Walk the hands back, Find your way into down dog. Stretching out the back, left leg into the sky, left knee in and swim it through. Warrior 2, left knee is bent, right foot is facing the side of your mat, front toes are facing forward. Attempt to bend the left knee as much as possible. Bring your arm behind you for reverse warrior. Left arm to the ground, right hand to the sky and above your head at a diagonal for side angle. You could attempt to clasp both hands behind your left thigh or your left knee and look up for a slight bind and a twist. Release the hands to the ground, straighten the legs, and come to the side of your mat with both toes facing the side, grabbing onto your elbows. You can take a slight bend in the knees here, just folding forward. And release and slowly roll up. Bring your heels together, toes apart. Let's find our goddess. You can bend and extend the legs a few times, finding your center, left hand on your belly, right hand on your heart. Bring your right toe off the ground and pulse into that right hip. And release. Bring up your other heel off the ground and pulse. Keep pulsing and release. Bring both heels off the ground and pulse through your center. Keep pulsing. Keep pushing your knees out towards the left and release. Let's twist to the right, both hands onto the hips. Twist to the left. Twist to the right and twist to the left. Bring your toes out, heels in, and let's sit on a block for Malasana. If you're an advanced yogi, you can go ahead and do Malasana without the block. Left arm to the ground, right hand to the sky or behind you. You could stay center if you'd like. Just pushing your knees out with your elbows, palms are in prayer. Right hand to the ground, left hand to the sky. You can look up, bring your left hand behind you. Both arms to the ground, release the block. Bring your hips to the ground. And find your way into frog's pose. So your knees are apart. Your belly is coming towards the ground. You don't need to come all the way down to the ground. Your knees should be aligned with your ankles. If your hips are fully on the ground, you could bring your toes together, knees apart. Front of your thighs are on the ground. Your belly is on the ground. You can rest your head on your hands. This is a very deep hip stretch, hip opener. If this is too much for you, you can take a seat back and just sit into a folded, seated fold, or you can rest in child's pose. Continue to take really deep breaths. Push off with your hands. Bring your hips to your heels. Release the feet. Bring your feet in front of you. Bring your toes together, knees apart. You can push down onto your knees with your elbows, attempting to get them more open. And fold forward. For a deeper stretch, you can focus on one leg and then the other. So here I'm stretching my left hip to the ground, and then here I'm stretching my right. Bring both legs wide open into straddle. Stretch to the right and then to the left. Just winding and dancing, moving through. Bringing your right hand all the way over your head towards your right toes, or I'm sorry, your left hand over to the left. And face your knee and fold forward, grabbing the back of your feet. Attempting to bring your forehead towards your knees. Bring both hands center and fold forward and then to the side. Bringing your left hand over your head towards your right leg, grabbing the back of your right feet. Bring both hands to the sky, face your knee, and fold forward. For further alignment, I like to grab the side of my foot with my opposite hand and reach out your right hand for balance, grabbing the right side of your right foot with your left hand. Release the arms, bring them forward. Release the hands and roll forward. Bring your upper body forward, hips to the sky for your middle split. You can stay in seated straddle if this is too deep. You could bring your knees apart, toes together. Bring your knees further together. You can walk yourself back into puppy, so hips to the sky, arms are straight out in front of you, forehead to the ground or to your chin, or chin to the ground, looking forward for puppy. Release. And let's walk back to our mats. Coming into down dog, pushing through the arms, pushing through the hands. Right leg to the sky, bring your right knee in. And launch into warrior two. Right knee is bent, left leg is straight, arms are out to the side in a T. And reverse your warrior, your right hand comes behind you. Right hand to the ground, left hand at a side angle for side angle pose. Bring your right hand underneath your right thigh and your left hand behind you to clasp both hands behind you. Straighten out your right leg, come into Trikonasana. Walk both toes forward and forward bend, a wide angled forward bend. Bend the knees, bend the elbows for support. Push off with your arms. Bring your feet closer together, slowly roll up. Bring your heels in, toes apart, just finding that goddess. You can pulse a few times, bend and extend the knees. Bring your right heel off the ground, pulse into that right hip. Keep pulsing, bend and extend. And bring that heel down, left heel to the sky, pulse into that left heel. Keep pulsing, both heels down, and now both heels up, pulse center. Keep pulsing through the hips, just finding that balance, that center, both heels down, twist to the right, twist to the left. And let's come to facing the opposite side. Let's come into Malasana. So squat, knees are wide open, heels are in, toes are out, hands are in prayer. You can bend and extend your legs a few times, trying to get into a deeper pose, or you could come to seated on a block. Left hand to the floor, right hand to the sky. Left hand comes behind, or right hand comes behind you. Right hand to the floor, left hand to the sky. Left hand comes behind you. Straighten out both legs, remove the block. Let's do a full Malasana now. So squat, heels in, toes out, knees out. Just pushing out your knees for 20 seconds. Palms are in prayer, attempting to sit straight up. And release. Straighten out both legs. Slowly roll up. You can bend and extend both knees. You can push out your knees. Fold forward. Come into a squat and then attempt to bring your knees above your elbows. This is crow, and then attempt to bring your feet off to the ground towards your butt. Let's do that one more time so both hands are extended straight out. Your heels come off the ground, bend your knees. Knees come up onto your upper arms and bring your feet to your hips and release. Find your way into down dog, left leg to the sky, and come into pigeon. Fold forward, head comes down to a block. You can roll your head from side to side onto that block, just breathing into that left hip. Since this is the second time we've done this, you could come into a deeper stretch here. Your hip should be fully warm at this point. Really breathing into that left hip. That left knee should be at a 90-degree angle. We're just going to be here for a few minutes, so play with the height of the block. Attempt to get closer to the ground each time. Just take really deep breaths. Push off with your hands. Find your way into down dog. Right leg to the sky, bring your right knee in, bending your right knee into pigeon. Your right leg should be facing the front of your mat. Your back leg is straight. Both hips are parallel towards the ground. Your head is on a block or on the ground. Just keep breathing into that right hip. You can extend your arms out straight in front of you. Release the block, push off with your hands. Bring both knees in and bring them towards the front of the mat. Straight in front of you, arms to the sky, fold forward, grabbing the backs of your feet. Keeping your back as straight as possible, bending one knee and then the other. You could bring a block behind your feet, grabbing the sides of the block and folding forward through the hips. Release the block off to the side. Toes together, knees apart for butterfly. Fold forward. Bringing your head towards your toes. And release your feet. Come lying onto your back, bringing your right knee into your chest. Roll it around for about 5 seconds. Extend your right leg to the sky and pull towards your head. Bring your right leg towards the left and then to the right, grabbing the back of your right heel. Your left arm can come out to a T onto the side for support and balance. Bend the knee and bring it back straight. Left knee comes in, circle it around in a circle for about 5 seconds. Left leg is straight into the sky, just pulling your left leg towards your face. Bring it over to the right side of your body. Left arm comes out to a T for balance. And then over to the left, grabbing the back of your heel. Right hand comes out to a T for balance. Release the leg. We're just going to do some supported bridges here. So feet on the ground, knees are bent. Your hands should be touching the backs of your heels. Your shoulders are tucked in. Lift your hips up to the sky and bring a block in between your lower back and your tailbone. And just release everything onto that block for a supported bridge. Bring one leg to the sky, and then the other, and then both. Feet can be flexed, focusing on the upper back, letting the block do all the work. Release the legs to the ground, lift the heels and the hips, and release the block. Knock your knees in. Knees are in, toes are out. It's always really important to knock your knees in after any back bend. And reverse, bring your toes in, knees out. And relax here in butterfly for a moment. Bring your arms out to the side, roll your knees towards the left side of your body, both knees together. Look over to the right for a twist. Both knees in, and then over to the other side, looking to the left. Bring both knees in, give yourself a big hug, take in a deep breath. Hold your breath at the top for 3 seconds. And release. Fully release. Come into Shavasana. Your feet are outside of the mat. Your hands are outside of the mat. Your lower back is on the ground. Your shoulders are tucked into your back. Your neck is straight. Shavasana. Let go of your eyes, let go of your mouth, let go of your shin, let go of the tops of your forehead, let go of your eyebrows and your ears and your throat. Release the crown, release the thoughts, let go of your shoulders and your arms and your hands, let go of your belly and your butt, let go of your thighs and your knees. Let go of your calves and your shins. Let go of your fingertips. Let go of your feet. And release the toes. Just completely surrender. You have a good 5 minutes in Shavasana. Just release the thoughts to the ground, let them go. If anything comes up, if past memories come up, that's your moment to give them gratitude and forgiveness and let them go. And to heal them. Continuing to breathe regularly. If your mind wanders, just bring it back. You can remember that intention that you set at the beginning of class. Remember why you came here. Just send yourself gratitude and love and thanks for coming to class. You can imagine a bright white light surrounding your entire body, filling your center and your core, your plexus. You can imagine a string from the top of your crown going through your entire body and then going through the ground. You are connected to the earth. You are connected to Mother Gaia, to Creator. Just listen to any messages that come through. What does your intuition tell you? This is a space to get closer to your soul. This is where you find that mind, body, soul connection. Just keep releasing, reminding yourself to let go each time. Sending yourself tons of love. Just release your thoughts, keep releasing them to the ground, sending them back to the ground for them to be transmuted. Darkness can be healed with light, so continually remembering to shine an imaginary bright white light over yourself and everyone around you. Go ahead and wiggle your fingers and toes, feet together, hands above your head. Just rest here for a moment for alignment. Just becoming one with the ground, letting it form you and shape you. Bring your knees in, roll over to one side, laying your head on your arm. Just rest your head on your arm and continue to release those thoughts. Just continuing to let go. This is a very sacred, nurturing pose. So just holding this pose for a moment and allowing yourself to heal further. We're always rushing, so this is a moment to slow down and think of yourself and focus on yourself. Send yourself self-love and self-care. And sending yourself love first so that you can love others. Continuing to breathe normally here. And just always bringing your mind back. This is your safe space. This is where you can always come back to mentally. Push off with one hand and head comes last. Bring both legs in. Cross-legged fold. Right hand over the heart, left hand over the belly. Head is slightly tilted. Your shoulders should be above your hips. And take in 3 really deep breaths through the nose. Hold at the top for 3 seconds. And exhale through the mouth. One more time, really big deep breath. Use the entire lung, the entire abdomen. Hold the breath at the top for 3 seconds. And let go. One more time, big deep breath. Hold at the top for 3 seconds. And fully let go. Listen to the heart here. You have your hand over your heart. They say the heart has a mind. So what is the heart mind telling you? This is where you can also find your intuition. Bring both palms to your center. Bow your head. Our hearts beat the same. We all want the same thing. We are all one and the same. The light within me sees the light within you. Bring your palms to your forehead. Look up. Bow forward. Namaste.